Hey guys, it is Leo Love in Other Languages Beth with you, and we are here in Nashville, and you'll recognise our next guest. Well, if you went to Easter Fest up in Toowoomba over the Easter long weekend, you will. They absolutely wowed crowds and so impressive, and I'd like to welcome Matt from Article 1. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Okay, well, as I mentioned, you were just in Australia a couple of months ago. Best experience while you were there?
Best experience? Almost drowning while trying to surf.
You've never surfed before?
No, I'm Canadian.
Did you get to see much of the country while you were there?
We got to see the Gold Coast. We spent like 2.5 days in the Gold Coast and then spent the rest of the time in Toowoomba. So we unfortunately had to just be in quick and out quick. Hopefully we'll be back and
Wink,
we'll get
wink.
to see more of the country again next time. So.
We hope to see you again sometime soon. Now, you play the violin in
I
the
do.
group. That's kind of the thing that is the point of difference for Article 1 that I was really surprised about when I first heard your music was the violin, and that's what you play. How long have you been doing that for?
Goodness. I'm 23. I started when I was 5, so 18 years.
You must be all right by now.
I hope so. I guess that's for you to decide.
Now, you released your The One I'm Fighting For EP this year. I've just heard you just wrapped up working on a new album. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. It's just one more mix and then it's done.
What can you tell us about it?
It's going to be the best record ever. No, I'm Canadian. I'm supposed to be humble. I think it's the best record we've done. Best songs. It sounds great. I really love the songs and material. I would listen to this record all the time. Each song has different moments. There's a lot of instrumentals and interludes between the songs, which is really cool. Not a lot of Christian records do that. So we were trying. It's also a thing that's natural for us. We're such instrumentalists to begin with, so it's something we really wanted to emphasize and have moments on in this new record. It's something that we also do live that we can bring in. The album's going to be called Clarity. It comes from just a renewed clarity and message and music direction of the band, just a point of inspiration and epiphany that we've been given that we feel these songs need to share. So yeah, it's good. I'm really excited about it.
When can we expect to hear it?
We are working out. It's releasing September 28th, and right now we're working out the details of when distribution will pick it up for Australia. So hopefully the 28th, we'll have to see. So
Fingers crossed for that one. Now, I don't really like asking bands how they got their name, but the story of Article 1's name really fascinated me. Can you tell us about it?
yeah, Article 1 comes from, we used to be called something different, and it was a terrible name. We wanted to rename ourselves into something that we felt had a meaning and had a purpose. And so we were actually at a U2 concert, and the Declarations of Human Rights came up on the screen, and Article 1 says that everyone is created equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should be treated in the spirit of brotherhood. So basically it's the golden rule in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and that's something that we felt, we always wanted to be more than just a band and play more than just music and really have a message behind our music, and that's something we could really get behind. So
Now, you guys are involved with a couple of charity organisations, two that I wouldn't normally put together, World Vision and Compassion. Tell me about your involvement with them.
yeah, depending on the tour and the audience, and both organizations have their strong suits and the things that they do well. World Vision's, I guess, a strong suit of theirs is they can go into areas that the church wouldn't necessarily be able to go into. And Compassion is very Christ-oriented. Both are great humanitarian organizations, and we work with both of them depending on the events and depending on what other groups we're working with. Another organization we've also done some work with, more we've been on a tour that they were really pushed on, was Hold International. They deal with helping keep kids alive in I believe mainly China, but parts of Asia, who would otherwise die pre-being adopted. So that's another organization that's really cool that we've had the privilege of kind of helping out with on tours. So.
Do you have any sponsor kids of your own?
Yeah, actually Article 1 has 2 World Vision kids and 2 Compassion kids. So between the bands and us as individuals. So.
Cool. Now, I'd love to know, how old were you when you first got into making music as a band?
As a band? Well, Nathan and I were brothers. We've been making music together for a long time. We have 2 music teachers for parents, so we did not really have a choice when it came to playing music. And we've known each other for quite some time, as we're brothers. The band started about 6 years ago, I think. Nathan and I started the band, and Dave joined on very shortly thereafter. And I guess we just started making music at our church, leading worship at the youth group, and it kind of developed out of that. So,
what's your advice for young people getting into music, how they stay humble and stay strong through the industry?
Well, especially in the Christian music industry, it's pretty easy to stay humble. It's not as glamorous as people would sometimes think. I think if you're in the Christian music industry and your goal is to honor Christ and you're doing it for Him and not yourself, humility should be a counterpart to that, really. I think if everything you're doing is to honor Christ and that is the goal of what you're doing, it's not about you, so why not be humble? So
yeah, love it. Hey, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Fingers crossed they'll be back down in the country very, very soon. Now, don't forget, you can visit their music, article1music.com, and as always, follow us on Twitter, Leol Magazine, at Leol Magazine, and of course, leol.com.au. Thank you so much, Matt.
Australia, we love you.